A public hearing and work session on the massive transportation package finished up in Salem within the last 90 minutes. House Bill 2025-28 passed out of the committee on an 8-4 vote. All Democrats voted yes, and one Republican representative, Kevin Mannix of Salem, also voted yes. Here's a little bit of what lawmakers had to say ahead of that vote tonight in committee.
The time for waiting is over, and I mean, it's like really, really over. Let's pass this bill.
I do recognize from some of the talkers so far that maybe the new talking points are that this is a compromise amendment. While many may have wanted to tax Oregonians more, do not believe that the largest tax hike in Oregon's history is a compromise. It is categorically not a compromise.
With this amendment, we keep the folks employed at ODOT and at most of the cities and counties who do this work for a few years, but due to inflation, it will be only a few years, 2 to 4 years, depending on the agency.
And when I look at this -28 amendment, I have to remind myself, wait a minute, we do have accountability built into this legislation. We are changing the way that we are going to organize and handle the Department of Transportation. And yes, God bless the current director, but we're changing the system to say the governor is ultimately responsible by appointing the director. We've put in a road usage charge system. Thank God we're finally going to address the need to have our electric cars pay their share. And that's built into this bill, and it needs to be talked about. The reason I've gotten excited is because I know it would be easy enough to sit here and say no. But I've decided that I need to say yes so that we can move forward. Thank you.
Okay, so the bill now heads to the House, which will meet tomorrow morning at 9:30. No doubt, this bill is the biggest piece of work left for lawmakers who apparently really value their weekends. Sources tell us that lawmakers are wanting to end the session tomorrow night instead of dragging things out to Sunday, which is when the session must end, according to the state constitution. The bill's path to passage is narrow at best. Because it includes tax hikes, it requires a supermajority vote in both chambers. 36 votes in the House, 18 in the Senate. Democrats have exactly that number in both chambers. And with Republican Rep. Mannix voting yes in committee tonight, it appears passage in the House will happen. But in the Senate, that's where things get sticky. Democrat Mark Meeks said last week, when the previous version of the bill was in committee, that he would vote against it, and got removed from the committee for saying that. Today, he posted this to his social media account. Take a look. It says that tolling is back, buried halfway through the bill, and that he will indeed vote no because of that. But according to lawmakers at the beginning of tonight's work session, referencing rumors about tolling, no doubt referring to Senator Meeks' post, the language in the bill about tolling does not mean it's coming back. And the governor confirmed that.
The letter that we got from the governor today. This was to our presiding officers, and it says, "Dear Senators and Representatives, on March 11th, 2024, I directed the Oregon Transportation Commission to end all the work on regional mobility pricing project and delay any additional expenditures for implementation of tolling on I-205. The work on I-205 tolling has since been paused indefinitely. I will not direct the Commission to toll I-205 and will not support a standalone tolling on I-205. Section 78 of the -28 amendment to House Bill 2025A includes conforming language related to the House Bill 2017. This language is necessary to remove the references to tax increases and reporting requirements for the past legislature that now is obsolete. It does not impact or change my direction to the Oregon Transportation Commission related to tolling on I-205. Sincerely, Governor Cotek.
So, will that revelation change Senator Meeks' vote if the bill makes it to the Senate floor tomorrow? We'll have to see. But if he remains a no vote, Democrats will need a Republican to flip, which is not impossible. It looks like it will happen in the House with Rep. Mannix, but it's a bit of a tougher hill to climb in the Senate, simply because there are fewer Republicans there, just 12. But let's dive into some of the highlights, or at least biggest impacts to everyday Oregonians included in the current bill. It's set to cost just shy of $12 billion over 10 years. The gas tax would go up by 12 cents starting January 1st, totaling 52 cents a gallon. It would not be tied to inflation. The so-called transfer tax, a sales tax on cars, is not in this bill. But the similar privilege tax, which already exists, would be raised substantially. It's currently a 0.5% fee on the purchase price of new cars sold in Oregon. In this bill, that's raised to 2.25% and will also include the sale of used cars. Although the first $10,000 of the cost of a used car would be exempt from that tax. Hikes at the DMV are in the bill. Registration fees would go up to $75. It's just $43 now. The statewide transit payroll tax will triple between now and 2030, and the new pay-per-mile tax for electric vehicle owners remains as well, with used EVs going first in July of next year. Those drivers getting a choice to pay 5% of the gas tax rate per mile or a flat annual fee of $340. And that's just some of what this bill would do. It's 155 pages long, so we can't get into all of it, obviously. But what happens if the bill fails to pass this session? Well, this week, ODOT told us they would have to cut around 1,000 positions, including laying off over 600 people. Maintenance stations would be closed, 50% fewer winter materials would be purchased, causing a significant reduction in winter services later this year. So we will be watching closely tomorrow at the Capitol. So talk to us, though. What is going through your mind? You know, we love your feedback. Email us at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090.